Chapter 1 of Aunt Judy's Tales by Mrs. Alfred Gatty. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Aunt Judy's Tales by Mrs. Alfred Gatty by Margaret Gatty. The Little Victims. Save our blessings, Master, save, from the blight of thankless eye. Lyra in Essentium. There is not a more charming sight in the domestic world than that of an elder girl in a large family, amusing what are called the little ones. How could Mamma have ventured upon that cosy nap in the armchair by the fire, if she had been harassed by wondering what the children were about? Whereas, as it was, she had overheard No. 8 begging the one they all called Aunt Judy to come and tell them a story, and she had beheld Aunt Judy's nod of consent. Whereupon she had shut her eyes and composed herself to sleep quite complacently, under the pleasant conviction that all things were sure to be in a state of peace and security, so long as the children were listening to one of those curious stories of Aunt Judy's, in which, with so much drollery and amusement, there was sure to be mixed up some odd scraps of information, or bits of good advice. So, Mamma being asleep on one side of the fire, and Papa reading the newspaper on the other, Aunt Judy and No. 8 noiselessly left the room, and repaired to the large red-curtained dining-room, where the former sat down to concoct her story, while the latter ran off to collect the little ones together. In less than 5 minutes' time there was a stream of noise along the passage, a bursting open of the door, and a crowding round the fire by which Aunt Judy sat. The little ones had arrived in full force and high expectation. We will not venture to state their number. An order from Aunt Judy that they should take their seats quietly was but imperfectly obeyed, and a certain amount of hustling and grumbling ensued, which betrayed a rather quarrelsome tendency. At last, however, the large circle was formed, and the bright firelight danced over sunny curls and eager faces. Aunt Judy glanced her eye round the group, but whatever her opinion as an artist might have been of its general beauty, she was by no means satisfied with the result of her inspection. "No. 6 and No. 7, cried she, "you are not fit to listen to a story at present. You have come with dirty hands." No. 6 frowned, and No. 7 broke out at once into a howl. He had washed his hands ever so short a time ago, and had done nothing since but play at knucklebones on the floor. Surely people needn't wash their hands every 10 minutes. It was very hard. Aunt Judy had rather a logical turn of mind, so she set about expounding to the little ones in general, and to Nos. 6 and 7 in particular, that the proper time for washing people's hands was when their hands were dirty, no matter how lately the operation had been performed before. Such, at least, she said, was the custom in England, and everyone ought to be proud of belonging to so clean and respectable a country. She, therefore, insisted that Nos. 6 and 7 should retire upstairs and perform the necessary ablution, or otherwise they would be turned out, and not allowed to listen to the story. Nos. 6 and 7 were rather restive. The truth was, it had been one of those unlucky days which now and then will occur in families, in which everything seemed to be perverse and go askew. It was a dark, cold, rainy day in November, and going out had been impossible. The elder boys had worried, and the younger ones had cried. It was Saturday, too, and the maids were scouring in all directions, waking every echo in the back premises by the grating of sandstone on the flags, and they had been a good deal discomposed by the family effort to play at wolf in the passages. Mamma had been at accounts all the morning, trying to find out some magical corner in which expenses could be reduced between then and the arrival of Christmas bills, and, moreover, it was a half-holiday, and the children had, as they call it, nothing to do. So Nos. 6 and 7, who had been vexed about several other little matters before, during the course of the day, broke out now on the subject of the washing of their hands. Aunt Judy was inexorable, however, inexorable though cool, and the rest got impatient at the delay which the debate occasioned. So, partly by coaxing, and partly by the threat of being shut out
Sample complete. Ready to continue?